Hello, this is Lenny Vermoss, and I'm going to today in this video show you how to use Data Analyzer. I wanted to start with a little information about myself. So here is my name, my email address, my home website, the data website, and then where we're going to spend most of our time or all of our time is the Data Analyzer website. And I'll walk you through how to use those sites. If you go to my home website, this is where you'll end up, which is lvermoss@wikispaces.com. And if you scroll down the page, you'll get to a link to data analysis. You click on this data analysis page, you'll get to the data page, which has data, and then you want to go to Data Analyzer, which will get you this page here. You can also use the link to get directly to this page. This page has the links that we're going to be going over. There are several documents here. This is instruction document, which this video I will place right here and will kind of take the place of the instructions. But if you like a document, it's there. This is the spreadsheet that we'll be looking at. And this is the data analyzer if you don't have the XLX. These are the demos that we're going to look at. So we're going to look at 3 demos: test by color coding, demo by test, and test 10 by demo. We're going to start with looking at the color by demo because this is the one that teachers like the most. And I'm just going to point out some features of this, and then I will show you how to get this information in here. Probably most important, the information is here. You'll see here's the levels, level 4, 3, 2, 1. You can set those levels with these cut scores. This is the number of people that are at each in each level. This is the cut score for each level. So a 4 would get you at level 1 or level 4. And then these are the assessments, and you can put up to 10 assessments here. I just put in some sample data for assessments. You can put in whatever assessment you want, and you can see that the cut scores here, you can set those cut scores at whatever level that you want to. And then the color coding, we start with red is the lowest level, yellow is the caution level, and then 3 and level 4. So it's really easy to look at this information and quickly see with the color coding where the students are at. And I would say that teachers really like this, and it's possible just to put your scores and students in to get this color coding. The next one that we're going to look at is test by demo. And this is a PDF of it, but I'll show you what it looks like on the spreadsheet. But basically what this is you can enter demographic information into the spreadsheet, male, female, SPED, and there's even a couple places if you have some extra information, if you're doing an intervention, you want to see how students are doing. And basically what it does is for this test, mathematics on NISA-M, it gives you the number of students that are at each level for all, for male, for female, for each of the subgroups. And then it also creates a stacked bar graph for this. So this is a stacked bar graph for this. So you can see as we go here in the stacked bar graph that I have all and then each of my subgroups that I'm looking at. And this one, as I scroll down, this was the math one. And then next is your NISA reading test. And you can put in whatever assessment you want. But for each assessment, you get a breakdown by demographics. The other report that you can get is called trend by demo. And trend by demo, what it does is it looks at all of the students for each subgroup by assessments. So the first one is just all students, and then here you see all assessments. And so what I get is I get a bar graph that shows each of the students for each of those assessments. And so then I can compare how all the students did on all the assessments. And again, I can go up to 10 assessments. And then I can look at the subgroups that I have. So this is male students. So then I get a graph of male students for each of those. And then I get a graph for female students for each of those. And then if I keep scrolling, here's male and female, so I can compare male and female. And this continues for each of the assessments. So I can look and see how my male and female did on each of those assessments that I used. Okay? This is what the spreadsheet looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with data over here. There is a notes section here which gives you some notes about it. But I'm going to start with this because I'm explaining it to you. So this is what the data section looks like, and this is where you'll actually enter your information. This is a spreadsheet, and I'll just point out some of the things that you can enter. As I'm going through, you can put last name, first name. Any of this is optional, so you have status ID. Some of this comes from NISA reporting. And then you can put as much or as little of the demographic information if you want. If you're just going to do the color coding, you don't need to really put any of the information in here. Okay? Here's where you can enter your school district, your data, year of graduation, the subject. What this does is this information gives you the titles on your charts. The levels here, level 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to change those names on those, you can. This I talked about was the extra one. So if I want to change that to something different, for example, if I want to put, I'm just going to put a math intervention here. Okay? And so it shows up, and it shows up over here. I'm just going to put a number in here so we can see what it looks like. So I'm going to use my name here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to this first test. And right here, I'm going to enter a test score. Right? So I'm going to make this NISA. Okay. M. Right? And I'm going to put my score. Here's where I can put my cut scores. So I put my cut scores right here. And I'm just going to go with a 120 and a 88 and a 44 for my levels. And when I put my scores in here, if I give myself a 130, I see that I'm at a level 4. If I put my score in here at a 110, I'm at a level 2, 3. If I put in 80, right, I'm level 1, and anything below a 44 will be a level 2. So I'll put it in a 22 to see that those levels come up, right? And then as I scroll across here, I can see that I can add up to 10 tests, right? So I add up to 10 tests. I can set the cut scores whatever I want. And then let me go back here. I'll show you that with this here, then what it does is it keeps track of the number of students that are each level. Okay? And I can also enter in here any of my demographic data that I want for the students as well as I go through. Okay? Now the nice thing is once this information is done, what it does is it color codes it. So I'm going to click over here on the color coding again because I think that's the one that teachers like most. And what it does is it accumulates this data and it creates a graph of the color coding. If you put all the information in, you would get something that I showed before. And then here is my trend by, here's a graph for my trend by demographic, and here's my graph for my demographic by test. So all the information is just entered in the data, and then the different graphs appear. So you only enter the information once, and then it appears as we're going through. So it's nice that you just have to enter it one. Okay? So basically that's how you kind of get started with it. There's again the resource. Hopefully this will help you get started. If you're just doing the color coding, you don't need any of the demographic. You can just jump over here and put in the test scores that you want and the cut scores that you want. And then you're ready to go and produce a color coding. If you want the demographic information, you would need to add the demographic information here. The extra allows you to enter some separate things. And with each of these, male and female is just an M, SPED is a Y. You don't need to enter an N, just enter the ones that are SPED. And then, for example, the math intervention that I added, so if you want to see how those students do compared to other ones. Okay? So thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you can contact me on my email address. And again, all the sites were at the very first of this video. Okay? So thank you very much.